I'm super rested. So let's hop right in on this, right? Super rested. Let's keep going. Usually I get up and stretch right now. And I think we're feeling really good and spry. All right, folks, welcome back. It is day 172 with Duolingo Japanese. Once again, Maku desu. Konnichiwa. Minasan, yokoso. Right. Ooh, I could say something like yokoso e wait. Maku sekai. Maku no sekai yokoso e. welcome to Maku's world. And that's kind of cheesy. That sounds really pretentious. Sorry. We're gonna edit that out. Don't worry. I'm a professional editor. It's gonna be a jump cut, obviously. I'm just kidding. We don't jump cut anything here. Okay. So, I want to make mention of something. So yesterday, I've been testing out Duolingo Mobile, like looking at Duolingo Mobile off stream just to look at the differences here and there. And I noticed something weird yesterday, and we're gonna do this slightly different from yesterday. But so there's a weirdness here between the mobile and the desktop. So in desktop, there's a lesson 1 here and a lesson 2 here, and then personalized practice here, right? I looked at my mobile app and it personalized. So there is a chest here. There's a chest here, right? And when I opened it on my mobile app, when they synchronized, it completed this task. So technically, yesterday I didn't do my personalized practice. So we're gonna go do 3 personalized practice to keep consistent, right? Because I kind of like going back to the other prompts. So that's kind of a weird thing. I noticed that the mobile track is not quite layered on top of the desktop track. So synchronizing could be a little weird. And it looks like they're attached to each other. So in the mobile front, this is a chest. So if you open this chest, it marks the desktop version as complete. So technically I didn't complete this assignment, just as a extra side note. So it doesn't seem like it's completely concordant with each other, right? All right. So let's do our total recall session, right? We basically already spent 3 hours in Shoshinko trying to do some recall, some active recall. Let's see, 38, unit 38, describe your home. It's not necessarily, this says describe your home. And I think the concept here that we have to keep in mind is the idea of home, the figurative concept of home as well, because the things that they included is about the entity that is the home, as opposed to like, oh, this is a house, this is a living room. We do have a lot of those vocabulary, just not in this unit. So let's go over those things. Okay. Oh yeah, now we're using this this program, which is a substantial step down. Oh my gosh, and you can't undo. And there's latency on the lift up. That's fine. So, neko. Inu. Tori. Ko. know. I don't know there's a left-hand radical. My gut tells me there's a left-hand radical. Doesn't look right. Probably... Yep. Mado. Niwa. Niwa. Forgot about the counter. So, Niwa. Niwa. Samba. Nanawa. Whoops. Hachiwa. And Nanwa. So, Mado Niwa. Isu. Isu. Skue. Skue. What is that? 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6. That's all of them. Grammar. Do we have any grammar things? I feel like there were some slight grammar things, but I don't remember them. Nothing like crazy. No, I think we're fine. It's like aru, iru, counting. We had the combination of wa and tsu. Wa, tsu counters. Maybe counting things in the sense of no. We'll write that. No. Using no to say how much something, how many of something is. That kind of took me by surprise. I think that's about it. Okay. Go to unit 37. Unit 37 is talking about the day. 会社。会社。Oh. Oops. Day or deity. Deity. Oops. Oh, go. Goes in. So Neru. Okiru. Ooh. Okay, Furo. Oh, Furo. Shinshitsu. Daidokoro. Heya. Grammar. Journey. Grammar. Oh, no. Nothing sticks out. Maybe I don't know that he. The he? I don't think it's that unit. Anyways, these are all our kanji stuff. Most of our kanji stuff. Okay. It's been brief lately. Let's double check if we missed anything. Right? Oh, that's from yesterday. Okay. Jump scare again. So, kaisha, ne, right, de, furo, neru, or shinshitsu, shinshitsu, gozen, daidokoro, and heya, right? Easy peasy. Niwa, mado, ko, neko, wa, inu, tori, isu, and skue, and then nanawa, niwa, and samba. Okay, not too bad. And then have to keep in mind up here there's okiru. Okiru. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do 3 personalized practice, just because of routine, because of the thing I mentioned earlier. Okay.
1万円は少し高いですね。
Kind of funny because we just got this in the Chinese portion too. The things involving something being expensive and payment. 1万円は1万円は少し高いですね。このパソコンは1万円ですか？安いですね。じゃあ買います。
キッチンにいろいろなスパイスがあります。
Okay. キッチンにいろいろなスパイスがあります。いろいろなスパイス。キッチンに
スパイス？釣り？生物学？
屋上？趣味？
新しいパートナーはスペイン出身ですか？
新しいパートナーはスペイン出身ですか？Oh, wait, 新しい。I just said in my head, is your new partner from Spain? Oh boy. I'm curious if I'll do that IRL. Just randomly decide, like, substitute katakana words for all the English words that we have. Like, is your partner from Spain? That might happen, and I can see it already. Nani wa Spain 出身です。彼氏はスペイン出身です。
ATM は電気屋の前です。
ATM は、wow, wait.
ATM は電気屋の前です。
It kind of sounds like him. ATM は電気屋の前です。Okay, sure. Denkia. We actually know Denkia, the kanji for Denkia. Easy. So technically, we could convert this entirely. Denkia. Okay. その大きい電気屋は何の前です。駅の前です。Works. Location. We have 駅。
かっこいいショートパンツが欲しいです。
かっこいいショートパンツが欲しいです。Okay. Okay. かっこいい。Okay, sure. You can throw in a the. かっこいいショートパンツが欲しいです。ショートパンツショートパンツを買います。
買います。
もっと大きいショートパンツがありますか？ or はありますか？ Sure, ありますか？ That's fine. もっと大きいはあります。
あります。
Sorry.
ショートパンツ
ショートパンツはありますか？
スペシャルはちょっと高いです。
スペシャルはちょっと高いです。ちゃんと。Yeah, ちゃんと。Or no, ちょっと。No, ちょっと is fine. I'm thinking of make sure. ちゃんと。Okay. スペシャルはちょっと高いです。スペシャル。ちょっと高いです。Yes. Yes. Thanks. I know that. Yep. Very good. Neat. Okay. So. Okay. 今日のスペシャルはキノコのパスタです。Yes. That would be what that means. But interesting things. But all right. That isn't the correct response, but
今日
especially given the stuff. But hey, you keep doing those kanji things.
今日は
今
の
日のスペシャルは
昨日の
パスタです。
です。この可愛いのはいくらですか？
このかわいいのいくらwait このかわいいのかわいいのはいくらですか？ Forgot about that grammar point. このかわいいのはI want that red one. 赤いその赤いのが欲しいです。
赤い、その、のが欲しいです。
And we'll do two more
このかわいいのはいくらですか？
because of yesterday, the mobile thing. Oh, do we get the same thing again? Oh, okay. Oh, I guess practice keeps hitting the same set, isn't it? Don't they? If we do practice after completing this, after the set is already marked as complete. このかわいいのはいくらですか？ Yeah. So maybe we'll just skip trying to replace the three. You can't undo the track.
その
赤いのが欲しいです。
赤いの
Right.
の
Wait. Oh, it's
が
just
欲しいです。
I said, wow. この赤いのが欲しいです。Alright.
ATM は電気屋の前です。
Yeah, they just stick with the same practice pool. That's unfortunate. Well, I'll just have to remember the weirdness between the mobile app and the desktop app feature. So let's just complete the set. ATM は電気屋の前です。その大きい電気屋は駅の前です。
上野動物園。
上野動物園。Oh, okay. That's kind of new-ish. 上野動物園. Short. Alright, there's a bit of a mix in there, I suppose. ゾの公園の近くに有名な動物園があります。Fair enough.
動物園。
ゾの公園の近くに有名な動物園があります。上野駅で会いましょ
駅
う。Oops.
上
野駅で会いましょう。
会いましょう。
キャンプに行きましょう。
キャンプに行きましょう。Okay. So, Sumi.
炭。
Okay. Sure. Sumi.
ビジネス。犬。キャンプ。
目。
1万円は安いですね。
1万円は安いですね。Interesting. Is it though? Is it?
多分このスペシャルにします。
多分このスペシャルにします。Okay. I will still do the extra practice. It seems like it's very just by coincidence that we landed on two. Probably. Okay. このスペシャルにします。Okay. 今日のスペシャルはこの大きいサンドイッチです。Is that a sandwich? Are you going with サンドイッチ? Yes.
サンドイッチ。
サンドイッチ。
1万
1万円。Oh, okay. 1万円は安いですね。
ですね。
花さんはスパイスをたくさん使います。
使います。Okay. 花さんはスパイスをたくさん使います。Okay.釣り。
ラザニア。
趣味。プリン。
スパイス。
Oh,
that was weird. I got caught. Yeah. We're gonna do it one more time. That was different enough. Can we farm
こ
something
の
else?
キラキラのスニーカーはちょっと。
Okay, that's a different unit. That's kind of nice. このキラキラのスニーカーはちょっと。I didn't leave a space there. ちょっと。このキラキラのスニーカーはちょっと。はい。このキラキラのスニーカー。
北。パートナー。キャップ。
キャップ。Oh. Okay. I see what you did there. キャップ。指輪。
スニーカー。
スポーツ用品。
Okay. Haven't heard that in a while.
新しいパートナーはスポーツが大好きです。スポーツ用品をたくさん持っています。よくテレビでスポーツの試合を見ます。
アンドリオさんはスポーツ用品がたくさんあります。Oh no, いろいろなスポーツ用品があります。そう、アンドリューさん。
アンドリュー
さんはいろいろなスポーツ用品をOh, just kidding. Oh. No. Has all sorts of ね Oh. ね
を持っています。
So they went with 持っています。I guess that's fine too. Yeah. Yeah, this is the unit with 持っています。持っている。 not motte-iru. Well, the motes, we're not going into that yet because we haven't gotten too many of those yet. To express kuru, motte kuru, probably. Oh, it could be a lot actually. Well, how do I distinguish between iku? Yeah, this is the progressive. But it's not quite clear. More likely, yeah, it's more likely to be iku. We'll keep it under iku.
ホテルのブランケットは薄かったです。
ホテルのブランケットは薄かったです。薄かったです。Actually, I wouldn't mind this. My hotel blankets are not thin at all. なかったです。薄なかったです。ホテルのブランケットは薄かったです。熱い is thick. タオルはとても薄かったです。
タオルは薄かった。とても
薄かったです。
シャワーは毎日ぬるかったです。
シャワーは毎日ぬるかったです。Bookworm. Okay. シャワーは毎日ぬるかったです。Cat. 猫。何の水はぬるかったです。シャワーの水はぬるかったです。
全然静かじゃなかったです。
全然静かじゃなかったです。Right. Okay. 部屋は全然静かじゃなかったです。隣の部屋でパーティーがありました。
パーティー。
Okay. 全然静かじゃなかったです。
全然静かじゃなかった
です。
他の人のレビューも悪かったです。
他の人のレビューも悪かったです。悪かったです。
悪かった。
悪い。 レビューも悪かったです。
5月に北海道で何をしましょうか。
5月に北海道で何をしましょうか。北海道で何をしましょうか。5月に北海道で何をしましょうか。
ピクニックもしましょうか。
ピクニック
もしましょうか。
Alright, that's good. We got our 3 practice in, as per usual. Alright, let's go back to the current unit. 窓 Okay.
犬、鳥、蜂は、猫、庭。
Okay. 蜂は、
猫、窓、蜂は、鳥、犬、
猫。
犬と猫がいます。
犬と猫がいます。Okay. Sure. 庭。Okay, sure. 庭。子犬と子猫がいます。
子犬
子犬と子猫がいます。
犬がいます。
Short. 鳥が庭います。鳥が庭います。
部屋には窓が3つあります。
部屋には窓が3つあります。鳥が7羽います。
鳥が7羽います。
子猫です。
Interesting. Where are you gonna go with this? So, 部屋に窓が3つあります。部屋には窓が3つあります。Okay.
庭があります。
Okay. Short. Relatively short and quick. Okay. 椅子。Okay. 窓。椅子。庭。机。鳥。机。犬。窓。椅子。庭。机。その机はいくらですか？
椅子。
そ
の机はいくらですか？
ソファーはここです。
ソファーはここです。これは私のソファーです。
これは私のソファーです。
あの机はいくらですか？
あの机はいくらですか？ソファーはあそこです。
ソファーは
Oh, it's over here.
ここ
ここです。
です。
Never mind. Just
部屋
kidding.
に3つの椅子があります。部屋
部屋に
3つの椅子があります。
3つの椅子
が
が
ますあり
あります。So this is the grammar point. Maybe, maybe not.
部屋に3つの椅子があります。
部屋に3つの椅子があります。どの椅子はですか？ No. 椅子ですか？
どの
どの椅子ですか？
机が一つあります。
机が一つあります。部屋に3つの椅子があります。
部屋に3つの椅子があります。
椅子はあそこです。
椅子はそこです。Sure. Alright, sure.
どの机ですか？
どの机ですか？ Okay. Now we get to our trophy. Took about an hour, not too bad. It's kind of short. An hour. 何は
何は
鳥がさんはいます。
鳥がさんはサンバ
鳥がさんはいます。
No, that's wa there. 鳥がさんはいます。
います。サンバ
Either or is fine. サンバ That's fine. Okay. 椅子
椅子
Okay.
学校
窓
見
見
ます
ます。
1
1
月
月
庭
庭机
机
Okay.
犬猫鳥窓蜂
蜂は
ソファー
うん。庭があります。
庭が
あります。
あります。
け
台所
窓猫会社
寝室
室
どの机ですか？
どの机ですか？
会社
犬
寝
寝室
室
猫台
台
所
所部屋に3つの椅子があります。
部屋に3つの 椅子があります。子犬と子猫がいます。
子犬と子猫がいます。部屋に、部屋に窓が3つがあります。just kidding. 部屋に窓が3つあります。Just a turn of phrase, really.
英語
Okay.
部屋に
部屋に窓が
3
3つ
あ
あります。Wait. には
部屋
部屋には窓が3つあります。
子犬です。
子犬です。Okay. Alright. Let's finish off our kanji. We might do the previous ones too, because I think we've fallen behind, right? Have I dropped any others? We yapped a lot. It was a ton of yapping. So we gotta go back and close those off too. Extend our session a little bit. Isu. Okay. Oh no. I don't know they accept this. I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure they want Nomaji for this section. I should really try sometime.
椅子。
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 椅子椅子
椅子。
椅子。
椅子。椅子。
椅子。
椅子。
椅子
Okay. 7は
7は
Or 7は
7日
Yeah, 7日 Sorry, I was still thinking of the previous prompt. 7は7日7日7日
4
4
日
日
7分7
7
は
は7月 Fair enough. Well played.
7の
7日7日
7は
Whoops.
7
7は
7日、
か
7
7
日
日
7
7
時
時
日曜日
7
7は
は
7
7
月
月 Fair enough. 机机
机
机
机
机。
机。
机、
机
椅子椅子
椅子
椅子椅子
椅子
椅子。
椅子。
Oops.
椅子。椅子。
椅子。
椅子。
椅子椅子
椅子。
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 Checks out.
机。
机机
机
机
机、
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 机
Okay.
い
いつ、
椅子、
いす、
椅子、
椅子
椅子
椅子、
いす、
椅子、
椅子
椅子
椅子、
椅子、
椅子
椅子
椅子、
Okay. Up and away. Skue. Skue.
机、机、
Skue.
机、
Skue.
机
机
机、
Skue.
机、
Skue. Okidoki. Makidori.
椅
Isu. Isu.
椅
Isu.
子、
Isu.
椅子、
椅子
椅子
Why are you putting them on tracks?
椅子、
椅子
椅子
椅子、椅子、
椅子
椅子
椅子、
Okay. Samba. Isu.
椅子
Samba.
サンバ、
Wait, Marku, what did you think of The Fault in Our Stars? I absolutely loved it. I also listened to the audiobook as well. So here's a slight deep cut. Last year, Otakon, my commute there and my commute back, I listened to half the book. And then this Otakon, I listened to the other half of the book. And because of that, I also watched the movie yesterday. And what I can say is John Green is amazing. One thing I have to say is the movie really did an excellent job. You read the book when it came out. I really like the movie adaptation. I agree. I really do agree. And I love that they even went as far as including the monologuing when the supporting actor, when one of the, when Augustus, right? When Gus disappeared from the screen, they even integrated the internal monologue that is throughout the book. So I feel like the directors really understood. Obviously, I don't know if you noticed, but John Green is in one of the scenes. But they really did a wonderful job of like capturing even the internal monologue near the end. I was very pleasantly surprised that they left the most pivotal moments and integrated some first person, because the book itself, it was completely in first person. And at first I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And it is it was really well done. I'm glad to hear. Oh, that's kind of nice. I wasn't expecting that you'd be someone who read Fault in Our Stars and also watched the movie adaptation. I really like John Green's stuff. I mean, he's probably one of the people that I have an incredible parasocial relationship with. Speaking of like a person, right? I talked about how the dangers, or like the perhaps the trade-offs of being completely dependent on parasocial relationships. But one person that I do have a parasocial relationship with is definitely John Green. It's actually part of the mania, like the stuff he talks about whenever he comes back from whenever like a new movie comes out or he's writing a new book, and then he's like sharing his transparency regarding freely expressing his like thoughts and precariousness and concerns about the things he do in a public space. That is probably something that I resonate with quite a lot. In fact, I wouldn't have mind doing that in a different life. I'm not that old yet. Like John Green's got, 10 years on me. So I wouldn't write it off that I would also write a book at some time. However, he does it for me. So my question, it's such a relatable parasocial relationship that I know it's still limited in frame, right? Because obviously I don't know John Green personally. I don't know what he does off stream, not off stream. Well, he does stream sometimes with his brother, right, Hank Green. But when he's not doing like social media and whatnot, whatever he does to maintain that, all the power to him. I do really understand him in a way through the limited lens. So if you're ever curious why I haven't written a book or something, it's largely because if someone just reads John Green's thoughts and stuff, like his work, like Anthropocene Review, I think Anthropocene Review is probably my jam. I would write a book. I would personally think that the format of the book that I would write would be something like the Anthropocene Review, which was his next to most recent. It might have actually been, his next most recent. It might have been his most recent book, actually. And it's an essay. It's a collection of essays that came from his like podcasty like show. I expect a trilingual adaptation of the Anthropocene Review ASAP. Oh, that's interesting. Like if I took all the anecdotes that I expound upon over the years collectively behind Twitch, it would be in the format of the Anthropocene Reviewed, for sure. Like most of the stuff he talked about, I 100% have engaged in like a month-long mania regarding it. Here's the one thing that I would have to say. I can feel the anxiety and the mania and the concern that spawn the lines that he wrote in his books. And Fault in Our Stars was no exception. Literally, when even in the movie adaptation, they really nailed it. That like the movie did not cut corners. It was like a 1-for-1 reenactment outside of the omniscience, right? The internal monologues. Outside the internal monologues, that would grossly slow down the speed of the movie. Outside of that, whenever like the characters say things like desperately want to cling on to make a difference, like romanticizing being a hero, leaving a mark on the world, but yet still feel hopelessly worthless all the time. Yet from the stranger's eyes, John Green is an incredibly influential person. Although if you tell him that, he would probably struggle to agree with you in any capacity, especially when he's not doing work. So he has this constant predilection to forcibly try to do work in order to compensate for his constant self-deprecation. And whenever you see a scene in Faults in Our Stars regarding how the characters so desperately cling on to like hope, leave a mark to find meaning, in my opinion, that is one of the most obvious projections of his insecurities that he battles every day, regardless of how influential he becomes. He still struggles with the idea of being valuable, right? And the act of self-love. And oftentimes when you have things like terminal disease, that's incredibly relatable, but at the same time, people don't have to have cancer to feel that nihilism set, the whole it's kind of the thing I've been talking about when it comes to like language learning and the day of the digital age, where people often find enough information to find that they're worthless and that they shouldn't bother even living their lives. And that is exceptionally what Fault in Our Stars try to illustrate, in my opinion. Even the love story about like there's the infinity points between 0 and 1, that limited time can still amount to greatness and meaning and satisfaction. And that's kind of, it's timeless now, because if you think about it now, I almost feel like John Green was already ahead of his time. Because, man, it really, you can be just as young as Hazel Grace and Gus, or even older nowadays, and still feel worthless in the digital age. So I thought it was very poetic that I finally got a chance to. I listen to audiobooks most of the time because most of the days I'm using my eyes, and it can be very, very difficult after a while. So it's not that I don't like reading books, like reading texts and feeling the books. It's often, if I'm doing this, then my eyes need to stop doing that for a while. So I tend to listen to audiobooks a lot of times. I used to like run on the treadmill, when I was training for like a marathon or something. I used to, because you have to run 2 to 3 hours anyways on marathon training day, you just listen to a book for 2 to 3 hours at a time. My commute used to be like an hour to work and an hour back. So I used to read quite a lot or listen to audiobooks. Nowadays, not so much. Didn't mean to dash. It's nice to know we relate on this. Yeah. I earnestly think, like, if I had to plug someone, it's probably John Green and Hank Green. Those are my, among other people. There are other spheres where they have this type of groundedness as well. But man, I can feel his, I can earnestly feel his pain every time he like express how small he feels, or like how insignificant he feels, even, and it's exceptionally right after something big happens that he becomes pretty overly concerned. I am looking forward to I have Turtles All the Way Down audiobook for the longest. My Audible library is probably filled with more guilty purchases percentage wise than my Steam library of video games. Like I at least played like 30% of my Steam library. My Audible library is like 10% of the books I purchased. So I've yet to do it. Have you read and also watched Turtles All the Way Down? There was a movie adaptation that was released recently. I was talking to Fictitious because Fictitious also am very into these ideas, like these refreshing expressions of the current days. You definitely would recommend it? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't read any of Hank Green's books yet, though. The movie was so good for Turtles. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I have lots of anecdotes from the trailer alone. I have a lot of anecdotes in my everyday life. I can almost parallel some of the trailers and themes. I haven't read Hank's books either. Not quite as interested, but maybe that's just ignorance. Yeah, see, Hank is like exudes a different energy, right? However, the reason why I may want to read Hank's books is largely because Hank and John are brothers, if you know what I mean. The idea that you can compare and contrast between Hank and John is an extra motivation for me. Maybe not necessarily like Hank's sunshine and rainbows and hyper functioning, like high functioning kind of personality. Hank is very high energy. Like I almost feel shockingly overwhelmed by how high functioning he is. However, knowing that his brother is John Green, that makes it really interesting to compare and contrast related intellectuals that are expressive and managing in different ways. I watch SciShow a lot, so that's where I encountered Hank Green. And then because I knew Hank Green, I met John Green through Vlogbrothers. And that's kind of how I got exposed to his books. So ultimately, it was the science side in Hank that drew me to John. They're very much like my friends, my best friends. My best friends are of that quality. In fact, the friends that I'm talking about, they're not just brothers. There are 3 of them, right? I talked about them a few times here. Their demeanor and way of analyzing and making commentary on things kind of is very reflexive of that. It's almost as though I already know what Hank and John are like without ever having to meet them, which is very rare. I would say of all the people to be influential, sorry, one last distraction, of all the people to be influential, kind of nice when you find people that you resonate with without even ever having to meet them. Honestly, they would be one of the few people that when I sit down, I would have insecurities about expressing my own ideas. And I think that is very rare. Oftentimes when I sit down and I don't have an emotional investment in most things, I can act professionally most of the time. Like it's very detached, so I can navigate things. Like if I sat down with, I don't know, X influencer or however, and I need to be professional about it without any emotional investment. You go through the loops, you go through the channels, and you can articulate things. But if I sat with someone who I parasocially resonate with, then I get nervous. And I haven't been nervous in a long while. It's been a very long time. And it kind of feels good. I like being emotional every once in a while. Or like what I mean is, it's nice. I don't know if you ever feel like you're not emotional enough, Lotus. Like you're always like in a professional setting and you've gotten so used to being objective and performance seeking to the point where you, every once in a while when you hit something that is incredibly emotional, or like you feel like you're connecting with it, it's like a very, I'm definitely a bit too emotional. Okay. So maybe we don't connect on this part. I feel like I can resonate with a lot of kids these days, like younger adults who become numb, like super numb, because when I was that age, I was also incredibly emotionally stunted, like very emotionally stunted. And reading a piece like coming from someone like John Green makes me feel like, yeah, that's pretty cool that you can manage those stuff without having to like basically close yourself off, right? I have been professional most of my life. I think I've never been more expressive than I am now to this day. I was like, some people make a joke that I was very robotic when I was young, but I truly was okay with being robotic for the rest of my life when I was young. Like I rarely had attachments to people. They tell me things, I say the things they want to hear. I was very good at that, right? Like, oh, this person told a joke, I laugh, right? This person is saying nice things about me, I repeat, I say thank you, and I say nice things back. Like it's one of those things where most things were mechanical. There weren't any like, and you might be thinking, oh, but you couldn't have gotten away with it, it's not genuine. It's like, well, when you practice things and people aren't paying attention, you get away with a lot of things by understanding what to do. However, the problem with that was I always wondered if I had I'm gonna say this with a grain of salt, I had some form of sociopathy where I don't think I felt anything, right? And sure enough, I turned out to be a very normal person, or maybe slightly abnormal and slightly atypical, but largely neurotypical to some extent. So here I am, right, streaming for the sake of trying to elicit some emotional response. Can relate. Learned with empathy is shockingly late in life. Yeah, learned what empathy is shockingly late in life. Yeah, for sure. I think nowadays, you don't have to be atypical to lack a complete empathy. Like, I think the hyper aggressive career oriented world we live in makes you shut those things down. Like, you bottle them up, put your walls up, right? Put your walls up and get to work. And you get people, in my opinion, get so used to that it becomes normal. Yay for therapy. Yeah. And that's where I'm going to leave it off with. I think John Green's books are incredibly wonderful in the sense that they don't necessarily blanketly say expressing things is going to be sunshine and rainbows, but being able to do that is highly encouraged and should be more aware of that, right? It's often a lot more acceptable and approachable, and it's pretty beautiful. Anyways, thanks for raising that remark. I've been trying to engage in more content lately. I'm kind of curious if there's a Japanese version adaptation. Oh, wait, Lotus, for the record, I know you didn't learn Chinese yet, but when I was looking at like trivia for Fault in Our Star, there was an Indian adaptation and like a Chinese sort of adaptation of Fault in Our Stars. So technically there isn't a Japanese one, but there is a Chinese one to some extent. It was like inspired. There was like a lot of like political issues with changing hands and Fox and Disney, you know, the acquisition and stuff. But there is one. There are other adaptations. I'm kind of curious. There's no Japanese adaptation though, so can't practice Japanese. Nevertheless, thank you for bringing that up. It was part of my Otakon trip. Moto. Oh no. Yes. Wait. Okay. Kito. Ya? Something. Kito something no sai de janai. That's the Japanese title for Fallen Our Stars, apparently. Oh, interesting. So interesting. It's not. Wait, why is it Janai? Oh, because there is fault. Like a. Certainly that the fault is not the stars. Yeah, the fault is not the stars. Yep. The kanji is. Oh, that's star. Okay, so that's star. Yeah, so they made it into a negative. So stay is fault. Okay, so it's not. Oh, interesting. The fault is not the stars. Wait. Fault is not the stars. I feel like that's saying something different. You know what I mean? Fault is not the stars versus Fault in Our Stars. I feel like there's something. Huh. I haven't really taken a deeper dive into what the title of the book meant. Fault in Our Stars. I always took it for granted in the English sense of things. Fault in Our Stars would mean that there were fault in our stars. Like, you know, there were problems in the hand they were dealt. There was this really fun little star reference when they visited Orange, you know, or Orange, or Orange. I don't know how to pronounce the place because I don't speak Dutch, but I'm not Dutch. But that restaurant, when they were talking about stars, can you buy on Amazon? Can you buy on Amazon for only $30 the Fault in Our Stars English and Japanese edition. Hold. For real? Let me look. Interesting. Who translated this? Mizuhito Kanahara. Oh, no. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Mizuhito Kanahara. Akane Takeuchi. I don't know if I recognize those names. Interesting. So John Green collaborated with two Japanese authors? Interesting. Maybe. I wonder if John Green cares if I read. I would love to read an excerpt. Okay. I'm gonna bookmark this. It would be cool to read specific excerpts from The Fault in Our Stars in Japanese. Like, I would love to hear the humor, the wordplay between being dead or like going to die. Like, for example, when they were in the heart of Jesus, right? The literal heart of Jesus, the pre-funeral, right? I would love to hear what that's like, how they translated that scene in Japanese, where they were using a lot of incredibly dark humor on the situation, right? Or like the little jabs back and forth, like the literal taking breath away kind of thing. I really like those like puns that were everywhere, trying to light up the humor of basically having terminal illness. One last thing. Oh man, we're getting too deep into this. One last thing is, it struck me as a missed opportunity that John Green didn't make a crack at the idea of saying something like, we're all dying every day. That sounds like more of a edgier dystopian author would say. Something like that. Like, they would crack a joke, the cynicism of youth. Oftentimes you hear that quite a lot. We're like, what do you mean you're dying? We're all dying every single day. You know, we're one day closer to death every day. And in a way, I thought that would have been a dark joke that in character some younger people would say of our generation. However, at the same time, I thought, nah, John Green wouldn't be that morbid and cynical and make his character say a joke like that. At least that's a thought that came across my mind. I'm like, that's a little dark. I think it comes from a very dark place. I used to chuckle at that, and now I don't really chuckle too much at that. The whole like dark humor about if someone comes up to you and say that, or it comes up to me and say that, I tend to be a little concerned. Because like, you don't look forward to death or count the days to death. You count the days you have and what you can do with them, in my opinion. Kind of like the whole cancer thing. Anyways, thanks for the chatter. I haven't been in like a book club or something in a long time. I love talking about books and their ramifications. Oh, it's nice. You know, if there were stars and destinies and fate, I feel like it wouldn't be unbelievable that in the many permutations of parallel universes that Lotus, you and I would probably have crossed paths. The coincidences keep on piling up, you know what I mean? Life, self-selection, randomness. Often life doesn't really appear so random when there's so many things in your life pre-selecting yourself towards other people. That sounds like a little romantic gesture, but the whole idea of what are the chances that you and I have the same resonance regarding a very specific book in which we don't even talk to each other about, and yet here we are. I don't know. Something to think about. I think humans behave, including myself, in a magnificent way that people who gravitate towards each other would be shockingly surprised how many things you can relate upon when properly expressing, of course, when you properly express yourself. Anyways, thanks for that. Yay. I earnestly believe that encouraging people how to properly and tactfully express themselves and navigate and use interpersonal skills, these things happen. Even when the odds are so small, you will find people that you can have these conversations with. If you are unable to express that and have proper interpersonal skills, then oftentimes you don't get to be in the company of people who also share the same kind of resonance, right? It's very, very important to language learning, in my opinion. So.
今日
What am I looking for? Oh,
サンバ
samba. Even though it's sangwa. Either. Okay. Su.
二人
二人
椅子
椅子。
2000サンバ人気
サンバサンサは
椅子
椅子
サンバ
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 12
500
500
サンバ椅
椅
子
子
台
台
所
所
椅子、
椅子
椅子、
椅子台所サンバ4000
4000 Whoops
には
3は
3は
3000
3000
台所
台所
サンバ
サンバ
2000
2000
椅子
椅子Alright. Ooh. That was a lot. I like it.
机、
机
机
Okay.
机
机
机
机、
机
机、
机
Okay.
机
Alright. Alright.
サンバ
Samba.
3日
Ga. Samba.
は
は
3
3
月
月
サンバ
6
6日
日 Dang it. Too soon. Okay.
3日
Mika.
I was too anxious. Mika
サンバ
wa
San. Wa. Mika.
wa mi
3日
Mika. Uh,
20日
no, 20日. Don't nichu nichi me. 20日.
2は
は
3番
3
3分
Okay. Alright. Last but not least.
I-
Isu.
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 椅子
Isu.
椅子。
椅子
椅子
Isu.
椅子
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 椅子。
椅子
Oh, I was gonna make a comment about William Dafoe. Oh my gosh. As Peter Van Houten.
椅子。
Picking William
椅
Dafoe.
子
椅子
Such a left field. Okay. Oh. Oh. Isu. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, and Isu.
Ko.
Ko.
中
Naka.
今 子猫
Koneko.
椅子
Isu. Okay.
I-
Isu. Okay. Isu.
こ。
Oh.
こ
椅子。
Isu. Okay.
子犬
Koinu.
人
To.
椅子
Isu. Don't you dare.
10
Jukai. I don't like you anymore. Oh. Heckin' synthetic voice. Alright, where are we at? An hour and a half? We're gonna keep it to like 2 hours, right? So let's spend the next 20 minutes, whichever comes first, completing these. We know all the stroke orders of these things. So let's do these. Heya. Heya.
部屋
Okay.
部屋。
Heya. Whoops.
部屋
部屋
Whoops.
部屋
部屋
Oh my gosh.
部屋
部屋。
部屋
部屋。
部屋
I always whenever I think about John Green,
部屋
whenever he's like giving his vlog,
部屋
like whenever
Yeah.
he's like talking about his vlogs and stuff, he does this like nervous tick or this like ponderance tick that I do quite a lot ever since I was young up to this moment. And that's like he does this thing where he like pulls his hair whenever he's thinking. And many of my friends, and including myself, we have this like a ponderance tick. And when I first saw him like vlogging and watched his videos, how often he like occasionally whenever he hits like a certain topic and stuff and he does this thing with his hair, I'm like, even the ticks are very similar. Although he doesn't do the other thing where like you dart oh, that's something I never made that association. Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that you notice. If you like, you know, it's one of those things, if you live it, you immediately pick it up. Like now you probably can't unsee it. And you probably can't unsee it whenever I do it too. Cause whenever like get a deep thought and start ranting and stuff, I'm gonna start pulling my hair. Or when I'm wearing a cap, I would like brush my cap. But it's a really common nervous tick. There's another nervous tick, but he doesn't do this, where he like I dart my eyes away from a source of things. So I always like look up or look to the corner. That's something Magnus Carlsen and others do. So like if you look at chess players and stuff, when they start thinking and stuff, you can kind of see a lot of times their eyes would dart off of the target. Those are like very common signs of very specific habit formation. You pick up on those when you practically live it. Yeah, John pulls his hair a lot. far more than I do. I try not to do this too often, because if in certain spaces it can be distracting to people. So, but he's vlogging, so that's the whole idea. And I don't really like, I subconsciously do this a lot in stream. I've seen myself do it quite often. One of my friends do this thing. They have like facial hair, so they would pull on their like chin hair or their facial hair. And I do this every once in a while too. If my like whiskers get too long, I would like pull on it. I don't know if you ever noticed that you have any tics, but it's kind of humorous when people point it out. I don't necessarily think anyone pointed out my nervous tics, but it's a really easy way to read someone like myself. I don't have a great poker face or like any of that. It's really easy to pick up on my tics. Unless you're like not interested in that, then yeah, you probably wouldn't notice it. Shin Shitsu. Shin Shitsu.
寝室
Okay.
寝室
So we got Shitsu.
寝室
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 Okay.
寝室
It's nice seeing
寝室
these big,
寝室
because I don't go and look at the kanji super closely a lot of times anymore. So it's kind of nice that Duolingo
寝室
still puts in the exercises for me to double check my strokes, because I'm becoming a bit more
寝室
less disciplined, less observant. Furo.
風呂
That's a little aggressive. Furo. Shinshitsu. Shinshitsu.
台所風呂
Furo.
部屋寝室
Shinshitsu. Don't you do it?
実家
Jukai.
Furo.
I know. You want to say Jikai. I know.
風呂
Furo?
風呂
Yeah, Furo.
寝室
Shinshitsu.
風呂
Furo.
人気会社
Hello there, Victor. Hello.
お風呂寝室風呂
Oh, it's kind of funny to have ofuro and furo.
寝室
That vocabulary. We're in a different phase of Duolingo now. Now Duolingo is kanji centric.
寝室
Shinshitsu. But they still obey the three laws, the three rules of Duolingo. They either share a kanji character, share a similar kanji character, share a similar read, share a similar kana, like some weird kana thing, or they share a meaning. And that's how it goes.
寝室
寝室。
室
人気。
寝
寝室。
室。
日本。
Oh, well, that's kind of random, actually. It's kind of hard to connect Nihon to any of these. Huh. Oh, because of Ninki. Never mind. Just kidding. Okay.
部屋。
部屋。
風呂。
For a moment there, I thought it might have been Furu. Furo.
風呂
Okay.
風呂。
Furo.
日本。
Nihon.
寝室。
Now I'm a little confused. Shinshitsu.
台所。
Daidokoro.
学校。
Maybe not all the time if they don't have enough examples. Shinshitsu. We got 11 minutes, so let's try to read this. Ofuro.
お風呂
Ofuro. Ofuro. So, how have you been doing? Wait a minute. Is today a weekend? Oh no, it's Thursday. How are you doing, Victor?
風呂
It's a work evening.
風呂
Furo.
お風呂
How is work and whatnot?
Furo.
お風呂
Ofuro. Whoops. Wrong direction. Ah! Sorry.
風呂
お風呂
My hand stuttered. Ah! Sorry. Oh. Oh, I've been writing that stroke in the wrong direction. That would explain why I keep wanting to go the other direction.
風呂
So, that's something to keep in mind. Thanks, Duolingo. Okay. Daidokoro.
台所
Daidokoro.
台所台所
Daidokoro.
台所
台所
台所。
台所
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 Daidokoro.
台所台所
Wobble wobble.
台所
My hand is wobbling around. You're doing bad. Wait. Victor, there's a new job opening on your company for the same job you have. I reviewed 17 applications and realized 3 of them were well beyond your qualifications. That makes applying for a new job harder? Oh, I see. I see. At first, I didn't know where you were going with that, other than maybe you're more qualified than you think. But, oh, I can totally see how you can...
Furo.
Yeah, I can totally see how that would also show that the qualifications, the bottom line qualifications have risen. And if you ever decide to go and apply for a new job, the standard level qualification has gone up. I would probably make a different mention though, since it's the same job as yours and they seem to be like well beyond your qualifications. That would one can also entertain the idea that you have other qualifications that you haven't considered, right? At least I think that would also, if that would suggest that if you still have your job, you must have some other qualifications that are balancing out the equation. At least, perhaps. I obviously don't know the nature of your job, but I can definitely see how that would definitely be concerning. Qualifications for your current job, but really hard to put that on a resume. Yeah, true. True. Yeah. Have you thought, is this bad because you're thinking about applying to a new job, Victor? Hopefully that's not too personal. Or maybe like you see yourself in the future.
風呂
You see yourself in the future wanting to look for a new
お
job.
風呂
風呂
That does seem very
風呂
problematic. I don't even know what the qualifications are for
お風呂
what I would need to even re-enter something that I have to do. You need a change of pace. Okay, I see. Well, I hope you find something. That does seem concerning. I could definitely empathize. It's kind of like a lens into what is expected. When you need a change of pace, would you... Crap, I should have screenshotted all of them. When you mean a change of pace, do you mean like you're not gonna pivot? Try like something pivoting, so... Oh yeah, but that also involves starting over, which that can be less than ideal. Yeah. Huh.
部屋
部屋
I can you are pivoting. Okay, okay.
部屋
I see. Makes it that much harder. Yeah.
部屋
Yeah. Indeed.
部屋
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 Are you not do you feel like you're not
部屋
excited about a pivot? I feel like sometimes
部屋
maybe one I know this sounds a little romantic, but
部屋
being enthusiastic about a pivot can often offset one's potential qualifications. You're excited, but I see why I'm not getting calls for interviews. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't think I wasn't considering that you have already started
部屋
the process. Yeah, okay. That's a pretty not great reality. No calls at all? How long have you been looking?
寝室
Shinshitsu.
寝室
寝室
Well, I hope you'll
寝室
find a call
寝室
sooner rather than
寝室
later, and it's like a
寝室
reasonable and acceptable conditions.
寝室
寝室
You got a call for a position that pays 20% less than what you're currently making. That sounds
寝室
寝室
like
寝室
inconcordant to what you're saying about qualifications. That sounds like a expected
寝室
outcome.
Get more with
Do you work in a career where you can build things towards a resume? Like build a portfolio or specialize in a way
部
that
屋
you can use the time, whatever time you have now, to explore and bolster your resume in like a self-study manner. I don't know if you're in like a field or like
Yeah.
creation or product, like a creative process or something,
部屋
where you can self-study
部屋
or make products and
部
then
屋
部屋
something that bolsters some sort of
Yeah.
portfolio or something.
部屋部屋
部屋
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 Maybe a side hustle.
寝室
Shinshitsu.
寝室
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 寝室寝室
寝室
寝室
When you mentioned like the pay, man, I started thinking about all the current data that I was looking at regarding like the cost of living and management and mortgages and stuff, like how salary, like the classic salary or average wage and stuff doesn't like parodies. It doesn't parody the extremely constant rise of cost of living and whatnot. And just thinking about a 20% pay cut sounds probably utterly devastating if you already have a very settled lifestyle. It would lead to a lot of changes. When you mentioned that.
寝室
お風呂寝室
お風呂部屋
いや
日本人気寝
室
お風呂
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 6階
Dang it, they still haven't changed that either.
台所お風呂会社寝
寝室
台所部屋お風呂学校寝
室 Your lifestyle is fine? Oh, okay. Well,
おふ
that's a
No.
silver lining, I suppose. But a man has dreams. Buy a house. Ah, that cuts so deep, Victor. That is like, that's not even an understatement nowadays. Like I was looking at, like I was crunching specific numbers and also like looking at other people's number crunch. Oh my gosh. Now being a homeowner is no shortage of a dream.
人気
Ninki, that's such a deep cut.
お風呂
Ofuro,
寝室
inshitsu,
学校
gakko.
6階
I'm ready to be house broke. Been house broke all your life. Oh, I see. Interesting. You have such a different perspective than myself.
風呂
So. I'm like a person that feels like
風呂
if I had to live in a car, I'd probably do that anyways.
お風呂
風呂
Obviously,
お風呂
I'm saying that very lightheartedly because I'm also fairly privileged
お風呂
as well. Not that
お風呂
風呂
that makes me
風呂
my lifestyle very costly.
お風呂
Sometimes I honestly sometimes okay, so this is a little weird turn. Sometimes I kinda would love to know the enthusiasm and like the catharsis of having a house. Like I would like to relate in some way. You're privileged, trying to be more privileged. Yeah.
台所
Me too. Sometimes I ask myself if I can learn to like that too. Honestly, I would kind of associate a lot more, or like resonate a lot more, or empathize a lot more with people who have dreams of being a homeowner.
台所
台所
台所台所
台所
I obviously don't own a house.
台所
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 My parents do though. They are homeowners. As one, likely. You have a dream of becoming a slumlord? Wait, can you elaborate on the idea of a slumlord?
お風呂
お風呂
風呂
Udo.
風呂
風呂
Mhm.
お風呂
お風呂
風呂
お風呂
Yikes.
風呂
You're just one day you're just gonna hit the slums. Conquer the slums.
部屋
Yeah.
部屋
部屋
I wanna. Have you read John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie? A landlord minimizes spending on property maintenance. Oh, that type of slumlord. Ah,
部屋
I see. Yeah, I'm glad I asked
Yeah.
because I was definitely not on the same page.
部屋
Have you ever read John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie? My romantic vision of the American dream is kind of like John Steinbeck's Travels with Charlie. And treat rental income like gold. Fair enough. My parents tried that a little bit.
部屋
Not the whole like slumlord thing, but my parents attempted to manage it in an apartment, like a limited liability partnership within the
部屋
extended family across multiple like apartment complexes. Eventually, after like a couple years, my parents exited out of the limited partnership with an extended family member. It was interesting. My father was a landlord, so why?
寝室
Lots and lots of hurdles, you know, lots and lots of hurdles. They invested a lot in renovating a building. It's in his blood. Yeah, the transition to being a landlord. My father is happily retired now though. And so my mother is soon to be retired. And I'm all for their retirements.
寝室
That's the mistake. Do not overspend on renovation. Yeah. Well, live and learn. My father certainly would agree
寝
with you.
室
My father would definitely be in agreement
寝室
with you about that one.
寝室
Go for low maintenance workable stuff.
寝室
Well, he was a very honest man. He is a
寝室
very honest man, right? So, his hospitality when it comes to working restaurants, like managing restaurants and stuff, kind of bled into the
寝
whole
室
real estate thing. So, that didn't
寝室
quite gel
寝
with
室
寝
the
室
philosophy, I suppose.
寝室
It was tough. Those were some tough years.
部屋
Yeah, he managed and worked restaurants. So it can be tough. Yeah. The upper like management and stuff was extended family member. An extended family member handled that.
部屋
Naturally, my father was not as well equipped in
部屋
transitioning to such a role.
部屋部屋
Let's just say
Yeah.
money can make
部屋
even the most stalwart family members
Yeah.
wear different masks.
部屋
So my father exit the
部屋
sold his share.
部屋
部屋部屋
部屋
Okay. 台所部屋
へ
Okay. 台所
だ
部屋
部
部
屋
屋
台所場所人気学校
学校
台所
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 Okay.
台所台
Okay.
電車人気日本部屋台所
部屋
Same thing happening here on your father's side? Yeah,
部屋
I can imagine.
部屋
Growing pains of a business.
部屋
Being in business with like relatives and stuff, it's kind of it's kind of a very well-known taboo, or like it opens up for a lot of conflict of interest. So generally speaking, it's more the exception than the rule when a family business of that nature ends up being sustainable and lacking conflict of interest.
部屋
It's more the exception.
場所会社台所寝室
だどこ
電車
電車
台所
台所
場所
場所
部屋
部屋
学校
学校 All right. This is a good place to take a break, good stretch. Today was review day, so nothing too new. Talk about yourself. That's interesting. Topic. So we're gonna take a break. This is the end of the Japanese portion. We're gonna come back for some Chinese. So what's the take-home message? Oh, we yapped a little because of Lotus. Lotus asked, I don't know why I'm saying Lotus like that. Lotus brought up faults in our stars. So let's end with a take-home message. I like to end each session or each break with maybe like some sort of slight deep cut, right? And I think the one from our Yap session is the idea that sometimes success can look very different on the outside than what's on the inside. And oftentimes, I think a very common thing that happens in this day and age is be inundated about how small and insignificant you are when you start looking at things from an incredibly wide lens. So oftentimes it is very advisable and encouraging. Actually, it's kind of related to the whole idea of qualifications in general, right? As well, looking at big pools and looking at what is the most optimistic choices, right? The cream of the creme de la creme, as you say. Oftentimes, yeah, there is that inevitability or that feeling of insecurity when you know a lot or when you become inundated with a lot of information. But know that life has ways of throwing some noise into those things. And sometimes, perhaps sometimes, that is all that may be the kick and the invigoration of one to not sell oneself short. That may be enough to elevate one's own perhaps qualifications or feeling of value. John Green's Fallen Our Stars communicates a lot of the idea of, even with very terrible situations and circumstances that are less ideal, humans have this wonderful act of finding significance, satisfaction, and even meaning, even in a short life, right? So why not also have time when one is healthy and also fairly privileged to engage in that into satisfaction. Yeah, so if there's anything I wanted to emphasize, success looks very different to many people, both from the outside perspective and from within. And I truly hope that even given all your circumstances, there's ways to find closure, satisfaction, and just overall enjoyment. I think John Green does it far more eloquently in his books than myself. Perhaps one day I would aspire to attempt to write a book just as inspirational, or maybe realistic in the sense of both the bad and the good, or maybe the undesirable or the less ideal versus compromise and whatnot. Yeah, so keep on language learning, right, folks? If things don't work out, where there's a will, there's a way. Perhaps sounds a little cliche, but honestly, knowing that you are enthusiastic and you're not going to give up is honestly a recipe for true success and satisfaction, in my opinion. With that, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna stretch, and I'll be right back. For those people who are interested in Japanese, mata ne. And interested in Japanese only, mata ne. Until next time, if you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. And I'm gonna switch gears. Thank you. I'll be right back. I'll get up and stretch a little bit.